we're all keeping cool and enjoying a lovely evening. Thank you, everybody, for being here, first of all. My name's C. That's my nickname that I earned when I was in the music industry, which was almost 20 years ago. So it was actually 20 years ago that I set up Pint. I set it up working in the music industry, looking for new talent. And to do that, I used to give opportunities to very underprivileged people from broken homes and backgrounds that you would never ever think of, working with schools and colleges and council estates. I used to go there and offer the kids a chance to express their talent, come to the studio, work with us, mentor them. Working with these children, I realized a lot of them were actually homeless. They didn't have great homes. They were roaming the streets in the middle of the night. And it led me to start working with the homeless people. Through this, I built a connection, realizing that homelessness was an epidemic. It was all over London. So as a charity, we got together with friends and family and did the little things that we could to make a big difference. And one of those things was supporting people that were very vulnerable, disabled, elderly, and people that were victims of domestic violence. In the room today is one of our trustees, the lovely Dave, who was made homeless through a medical condition. He was in a coma for 27 days. Coming out of hospital, he came out to nothing, no home, no nothing. He connected with us, and it was only by coincidence. But from that moment, we started supporting him with essentials, giving him food, clothing, wellness, and just making him feel that he's been loved and cared for, that there are people out there that will support him. And today, if you come over and you meet him in the break, he's a laughing guy. He's always laughing, smiling, and he makes it look like there's nothing absolutely wrong with him. It really is. It's, you know, it brings a tear to my eye sometimes when I see him. He runs around more than I do, and I'm working 7 days a week. So today, here, I come before you to ask you to connect with us, to help us achieve the next stage of our journey, and that is fundraising for a mobile outreach hub. The mobile outreach hub will be a van that will be a game changer and a life changer to many, many people out there on the streets. Take today, for instance. It's a very, very hot, warm day. My volunteers are out on the street right now as we speak. They're already connecting with me. See, we picked up this, we're doing this, we're doing that. They're doing this in this hot weather, 35 degrees. Our van will be out there as a hub. It will be a place for them to store and carry things as and when they need it. And at the same time, it will be able to provide much more for those people out there. So the figure that you see on the screen here is what we do. We do a 7-day outreach, a soup kitchen, and we walk the streets supplying hot food and mentoring, food parcels, as well as a mobile library called WOW. Why is it called WOW? Because it's words of wisdom that can help change someone's life. I'm going to pass you over to Harry now.
Thank you very much, Steve. Firstly, thank you very much for having us. I'm Harry. I'm a volunteer for Pint, People Need Today, and I've been volunteering for about a year now. So firstly, People Need Today is a fully volunteer-run organisation. We have 150 volunteers around London, and over our 20 years of being an organisation, we've given out 1 million meals, often supporting over 700 people a week. This will be our first bit of proper funding we've ever received, so it will make a massive difference for us. You know, these figures, you can see the impact we've had, but I think the main impact we have is we connect to people on a human level. We walk the same routes week in, week out, so we know exactly who's vegan, what type of crisp people like, and whether they like a chocolate bar or something like that. We interact with the most vulnerable people in the homelessness community, often those who are physically disabled, and victims of domestic abuse, as Kia said, who are unable to visit soup kitchens or large groups of people to receive their food. So it's a massive difference. We've done this through building connections through charities throughout London. We rely solely on donations for our food. So we work with SWAT and Felix and many other volunteering groups throughout London, and we're eternally grateful for them. You know, 20 years in, we've made this impact, but we're ready to scale it up, and that's where you guys come in. So with your donation, we hope to enable us to buy a van like this. We have a mock-up here on the screen. This will work as a mobile outreach, roaming the streets of London, carrying vital supplies such as food, water, tents, and sleeping bags, things that volunteers are unable to take at the moment. This will do two jobs at once. Not only will it provide that mobile base, but it will act as sort of an RAC for the streets, a visual reminder to people that they are never alone, where someone will be always there for them to support them. On warm days or cold nights, it will give people a bit of respite, somewhere to get off the streets for an hour or two. With this van, we expect to have an increase of 40% outreach capacity. And long term, we would like a permanent hub where people can come in and we can support people on more of a permanent basis. But at the moment, this is what we're aiming for. As you've seen, we've already had a massive impact, but we want to scale it up. And that's where you guys come in. So hopefully you can help us make a big impact on people's lives.
And just to end it there, before you all go, or before we conclude, I'd just like to say, even if you cannot donate, or even if you do donate, you are more than welcome to come out, join us on an outreach and see where your donation goes, or show us the heart you have in helping someone less fortunate than you that could have been you. So thank you everybody for listening.